Good morning everyone. In my previous video, I have shown you how to install web code on your Android phone so that you can do programming for JavaScript. So this is my second video on JavaScript where I will show you very basic or simple steps to create a login screen which will accept the default username and password. Once it is verified, it will take you to the next login screen which will show you the success of the previous page once it validates. So let me show you how. Let me open Notepad as a text editor. You can use any text editor. Notepad is not the limit. If you are using Android phone, you can use web code. If you are using laptop or desktop, you can use Notepad++. Then you can use Visual Studio Code Editor, then Coffee Cup. There are several popular code editor program or app which allows you to do efficient JavaScript program. So before I start coding, I will write a comment statement. Now the comment statement is used to identify what is this code all about, what this code will do when it is run. So let me write a simple comment statement. Create a simple login screen in JavaScript. So as you also know that this comment statement is ignored by the compiler when it compiles the code line by line. In the very next line, I will write the simple structure of HTML, that is HTML. Please remember that whenever you are writing the opening code of an element, immediately write the closing tag of that particular element. So I have written both opening tag and closing tag of HTML element. Now the very next one is head tag. I will write closing tag of head immediately. The benefit of using opening tag and closing tag is that when you have a huge line of codes, it is not difficult at all for you to identify whether you have closed that tag properly or not. It is easily understood when you write the code for opening tag and closing tag. You do not have to worry. You have to be error free while checking the code. Now after that, I will mention title of the tag. Let's say login page, and as the title of the page is small, so I will write the closing tag of title on the same line. So my baseline is complete. Now I will start body tag, and in this body tag itself I will define all the codes and the script for JavaScript. Now because we are creating a login screen, so it is basically a type of form. Let me show you through Paint how the layout of this login screen will looks like. Here would be the title of the login page, like a login credential or login page. Then in this area you have username, text, and a text box for username where you can enter username. Here in this program I have used a default username and password. Then you will have password text and the text box for entering password. And finally you will have one login button which will validate whether the username and password is correct or not. And also you have a reset button which will reset your mistyped login name and password. And if you have entered login name and password and if you click on login button, it will prompt you a message, or it will give you an alert message that login name and password is incorrect, please try again. So this type of layout I will show you today while doing coding for login screen. So let me minimize this page. And first we have to as I said that this login screen will be at the center of this web page, so I will create a center tag. It is CENTER. Please remember, do not enter CENTRE or else it won't accept properly. So I will create a center tag, both center opening center tag and closing center tag. And within this center tag I will define a heading or header tag. Let's say H2, which would be the title of the web page. Let's say I'm writing here as login screen. And after that I will close this header tag too. Basically over here this would be the title of the screen, which will say login screen, so it will appear over here. Then I will create a form for login screen. So of course a form has a form name, so form name equals to login. The name of this form is login. I will close this, and then over here I will write the text as username and password. So first username, which is the text name where you will input user ID, so its input type is text. And this text is for this text is the name of user ID, so name should be user ID. I will close this, and I will use BR tag, means I will use break tag. The benefit of using break tag is that it will break the continuity of the line. That means after this particular form, when the title or the name is created and in the text box you enter the username, it will leave a space, a 2-line space. That is why I have used 2 breaks tag over here. And then I will use password. Its input type is password. And name of this password text is password. Here I mention a code PSWRD. You can have any name of your choice. Now again I will use break tag, and then I will use button, two button, that is, as I said, login button and reset or cancel button. So for that I will take input type equal to button, and I will use on click. The reason is when you click over here, it is a small command. When you click, it will respond you whether the login user ID or password is correct or not. So on click equal to, it will check, it will do a validation check whether username and password is correct or not. So for that I will use one form which I will write in the next module. But before that, let me finish this code. And it has our value of login. That means this particular button is represented by the name login. So after this I will use the similar code for reset button, and I will make some changes over here. That means the next button, this button is going to reset login name and password if it is mistyped. So it will process the command as reset, and then its value is cancel. So end of this form. Now one more thing you should remember, as I said that you will use both opening code and closing code immediately. Also remember that use a proper tag button to place both opening tag and closing tag in a same vertical line, or else it would be difficult for you to identify or debug the code. So as the form has started from here, so I will end at the same vertical line. So end of form tag. So one part is complete. Now I will use a script. So the script is, of course, I'm using JavaScript as a language. So script language equals to JavaScript. And here I will write the validation or if else statement to check whether the username or password that I have entered in this to placeholder or text box is correct or not. So in this form I will write a function function check. So as because I mentioned check over here, so I'll write function check for, and if you need you can put a comment statement what this function will do. You can use either there is two different type of comment statement. One is like this is a multi-line comment, means if you want to comment in more than one line, you can use this type of comment tag, or else you can use single line tag with double slash. For single line comment we can use double slash. So here let me write this function is used to check username and password on the login form. Okay, so this is a single line statement. Now let me go and write the function. So opening brace and closing brace. Now if form dot user ID means the username that I have taken over here. So this user ID that has a value, so dot value equals to, that means it is comparing my user ID. So let me tell you, this form will check this user ID which has a value my user ID, and it will also do a check form dot pswrd dot value equals to my password. So the second form means this one, this form which has a value is my password. So when you will enter username and password as my user ID and password as my password, then what it will do, it will open another form. Means once the validation is through, means it will accept your username password, it will display another web page where it will show you the success of your login name and password. So I have to create another web page where I will do coding, and I have to link this particular web page to the success web page of another file. So opening brace and closing brace once again, because here is a control storage statement where I have mentioned a condition. If the condition is this, then the result is this. So let me adjust these braces first. So if this condition is true, then the result will be displayed as window. It will open another window dot open. The name of the file would be success .html. That means I will create another file success .html, which will link this particular file to this file if both username and password that I have typed here is correct. I hope you have understand. In case this condition is not true, means if you enter wrong username and password or you have mistyped, then there is another condition, else. So what it will do, it will give you an error message, right? Because if the username and password is incorrect, it will give you an error message. So I will write a message as alert error in username and password, or better to say username or password. Please try again. Please try again. So in case your login name and password is mistyped or incorrect, it will throw a pop-up with a message error in username and password. So that is it. Now I will close this script that I have written over here. Where I will close, this brace is complete. This one is complete and this brace is complete. So it's complete. I have written an opening script, so I have to close this script. Closure of script, and I have already complete closing center, body and HTML. So I guess my code is already complete. Now let me save this file with the name. Let me save this in D drive and Java folder with the name simple login.html. Okay, now let me open this file first. Let me show you how it looks like. So double click on this file. Let me check. So this is the screen. It looks like this. Now I have to create another code for, if the login name and password is correct, then it will link you to the next page. So for that I have to create another file. The name of the file, let me create over here. So top type HTML, for both opening tag and closing tag. Then I will write heading with the title, and in heading tag I will use title tag as well. Let's say I will write success login. Okay, let me close this title tag. Now use body tag. and in this body tag I will put a comment statement like I will write let's say I will use h1 tag equal to text align center within double quotation with a semicolon closing of h1, and let me write the comment statement. Hurrah, you have successfully logged in, and closure of h1 tag. So basically what it will do, it will after you successfully login, it will take you to the next page, which will display this line of text on the next web page. So let me save this file, and please remember the code, the file name. Let me open the code and let me show you once the file name that you have typed here. This is the name of the file, success.html. so you have to write the same file name for this newly created file, which is going to connect both the web pages together. So save as, and I will save this file on the same folder of JavaScript, and let me save it. Okay, let me minimize now, and let me enter the username and password in this web page. And let me check whether this condition, if condition is true or not. So let me check first condition and click on login. So as you can see, it has already logged in, but let me check. I made a mistake because the font size is normal font. So let me check it once where I made a mistake. Okay, yes, I made a silly mistake. It's h1 style, because I want to give a style. Which type of style? It's font size style. Check the syntax of font size for your reference. So now let me save this file and let me recheck. Let me refresh the page. So there you are. It's display in a h1 font. So my first condition is true, means if I my login name and password is, or username and password is correct, and I logged in, it will display a next page which will show you that I have successfully logged in. But say for example I have entered a wrong username or password, or by mistake I have typed wrong username, and let me check whether the next condition is true or not. That means this one. If the condition is false, if the condition is true, then I'm getting a successful result. It is joining me to the next web page. But if the condition is false, my username and password is wrong, then what it will do? Let me click on login, and this condition is also giving me proper output. That means error in username or password, please try again. So it will throw me an alert message that it is incorrect username or password. Let me correct this username and let me put a wrong password and let me recheck. So this condition is also working properly. So both the condition is true. Now let me check if I'm not entering username and password, what will happen? Am I getting a error message or not? So it is also giving me error message. It says error because I have not entered username and password. Well, I should have a one validation check over here that if I have not entered username and password, it will give me one more message that please enter username and password. As because it's a very simple program, so I have not used the second validation check. In the coming video, I will try to implement this condition if possible, and I will also show you the login name and password using an image. So I will try to upload an image over here, and I will also make it a bit colorful. So that is it for today. See you in the next video. Bye bye.